Learning FL Studio can be confusing, so first I'm going to explain how it works, and then I'm going to show you how to be efficient when using FL Studio. There are 5 main windows in FL Studio: the playlist, the channel rack, the piano roll, the browser, and the mixer. Every single sound, whether it's you recording your voice, or it's a sample, or a plugin like Serum, it will always start as a channel in the channel rack. The channel rack contains every generative plugin, meaning every plugin that generates noise. And whenever you use a sample or you record something, you are using the FL Studio sampler to play that recording or sample. The channel rack can also be used as a 1/4 beat MIDI sequencer where notes can be drawn in. Think about the piano roll as fitting into the channel rack on one of the channels. It's just a more complex way of drawing in MIDI triggers. You may be thinking, okay, sound starts in the channel rack, where does it go from there? I'm glad you asked. From there, it goes to the playlist, which contains every audio clip, MIDI pattern, and automation clip in your entire project. It's the entire arrangement of your song. If I take away all of the muted tracks, you will notice that I don't have any audible MIDI clips playing. That's because I render everything to audio as soon as possible. Look at how much more information this gives me than this. If I click on any clip in the entire playlist and then type Shift-C, it will select all similar clips, meaning selecting all of the identical clips. Think of each set of identical clips as their own channel in the channel rack. From the playlist, sound goes to the mixer, which is the final stage of the signal chain. This is where you can apply effects plugins. So remember, generator plugins in the channel rack, effects plugins in the mixer. There are 2 ways to route to a mixer track. Either route the playlist track, meaning any audio clip I drag into this lane will automatically route itself to whatever mixer track I set it to. So that's what I'll do for this kick track right here. I'll right click, track mode, audio track. Since I already have it labeled in the mixer here, I'll just go to kick and it'll show up right here where I have my kick. I'm editing this right now and I realized I never told you the second way to route something to a mixer track. The second way is to select one of these channels in the channel rack and then go to the mixer, select the mixer track you want it to be routed to, and press Control L, and then it will be routed to that track. The only window I have not mentioned yet is the browser. This is where you will find all of your samples and channel presets. You decide what's going to appear here externally on your PC. Once you have these files mapped out, you're going to go to Options, File Settings, click on these folders to add folders to here. My philosophy is the more you are typing, the less you are clicking, the faster you are. F5 through F9 open the different windows. F5 playlist, F6 channel rack, F7 piano roll, F8 browser, F9 mixer. In any window, if you type F3, it will bring up the options for that window. In every single options menu, whether you're right clicking something, even like these options up here, you will see underlined letters. There are different shortcuts that activate on a per menu basis. I just opened this options by typing F3. If I type SM, that will select all of the muted tracks, and I can press delete, clean up my song a little bit. Let's say I want to keep a version that does have these muted tracks in case I want to make another version of them later. Click on arrangement, clone arrangement, and now I have an A and a B arrangement, and on this one I'll delete them, but if I go to my other arrangement it'll still have them, and whatever change I make here will not happen over there. This is really useful for having 2 different versions without having to save 2 different project files, which would take up more space. Let's find a hi-hat. There's a hi-hat. Drag it to this right here. It's going to prompt me, would you like to make an audio clip, an audio track, or an instrument track? The difference is audio clip does not assign this to a mixer track the way I showed you how to do. If you choose audio track, all of them will be synced. If you change the channel of one of them, all of them will change. Do that if it's something more permanent. In this case, I'm going to do instrument track because we want it to be in MIDI. So it's going to create a MIDI pattern, go into the sequencer, right click right here, 4 bars. This is the hi-hat I just added. Right click on it, cut itself. Right click and type 2, and that's going to fill it every 2 hits. Click on these little bars right here. This shows the velocity. Velocity is basically how loud it is. It can also do all these other things like panning and stuff. Click, and I'm just going to drag all the way up. And then by hand, I'm just going to do every other one. The imperfection, what little imperfection there is, I think is worth it. Go to this hi-hat, and I'm going to click on this wrench, and then I'm going to go to Shift, and shift it off of the grid a little bit. Depending on the BPM, I can probably go a little bit more. Let's put it right here. Here's what it looks like in the piano roll. Control A, hold shift, and go 1, 2, 3, 4. FL Studio is known for having the best piano roll, so let's look at how to use that in really cool ways. I'm imagining a little hi-hat roll right here, I believe. Click on this magnet up here, go down to a really small increment, like 1/3 step or 1/2 step, and then I'm going to type N, which will get this tool, which is the sequencer paint. That just means it's going to paint exactly as big as the grid is divided up. Have it be like this. Select all of these, hold Alt and scroll. Now I can adjust the velocity that way. Make sure you always highlight the notes that you are working with, because otherwise it would move the velocity of these ones too, and we don't want that. So I'm thinking I'll have it sort of do like an upward roll twice, but one will be more exaggerated than the other, so it'll sound kind of like this. I think that sounds really cool. And then we're going to also do a couple downward rolls on 1/3 beat, because why not? I think right here, I could even do this, put it on the regular paint tool and just paint them downward like that. I can hold right click, that'll draw a straight line. I can hold regular click, that'll just draw wherever I want. I can do Option O, which is going to bring up the LFO tool. This is a downward roll, so I'm going to have it go downward like that. Now I think it sounds better an octave up. And then this one just needs to be brought way down in velocity. Now we can go to Control, Note Pan. What I like to do with these is all of the quote unquote main ones that are hitting on every half beat, those are all going to pan just slight right, just like barely. The rolls, I can hit Shift I and that will invert the selection. It's a really convenient thing. The rolls are going to be mostly left, sort of be moving. Put another one of these over here. So this one will be like this. Then I'll put another one of these over here somewhere like that. Maybe we'll go up 5 semitones. Why not? I think it sounds pretty sick.